Hello, YouTube fans. This is TheSkullKlown. I want to talk about a movie that I have watched plenty of times when I was a kid, but I never really talked about it on this channel before. I probably have talked about it in older videos when I first joined this YouTube channel. But let's talk about House of Wax, the remake, the one with Paris Hilton. This movie is not bad. The reason I'm talking about it now because I just watched Stitch Together Productions, Boots to Reboots. Shout out to that YouTuber. I highly recommend the channel. It's really great. But he reviewed the House of Wax movie that came out in 2005, and the video was a month ago. But I want to talk about it here. This movie is not bad. I haven't seen the other two original House of Wax. I haven't seen the one with Vincent Price, and I haven't seen the one that came out in the 30s, I think. I haven't seen those ones. But this one is not bad. From all the stuff that I see from the Vincent Price movie and the other one, I'm all like, okay. The thing is, when you look at a Vincent Price movie and maybe the original movie, they kind of do the same thing from what I'm hearing. I know I didn't watch it, but the fact that people point out of like, oh, how come there's not this rich man that how come there's not this person that wants to get more rich, basically, and wants to fuck over someone to get more money, basically. That's basically the concept of the two original House of Wax movies. But this one is just different. Really different. It's about basically two siblings. I'm not going to spoil it too much if you haven't watched the movie. But it's about two siblings that eventually, they do get separated because they were conjoint twins, and they do get separated, and stuff just happens. They own a house and everything like that. They own a house that's literally made out of wax. Literally, it's not just statues of people that are made out of wax. It's the whole thing, which makes sense. It's called House of Wax. Why wouldn't the house be made out of wax? I don't know. That's just me. That's just me. Seriously, it's like calling a Halloween movie and then not having Halloween symbolism in it. Like a pumpkin, for example. It's like, it's called Halloween. Put a pumpkin, for crying out loud. But I feel like this movie, when I first saw this movie, obviously the internet was in its early stage and everything like that. YouTube and stuff like that. YouTube, most likely. I mean, obviously. And I really never heard a lot of people talk about this movie, not in a negative way either, or never in a positive way. People just be like, oh, House of Wax, okay, and then move on. But over the years, in my opinion, for me at least, I haven't watched House of Wax in a long time, the 2005 version, but every time I remember it, I'm all like, it wasn't a bad movie. It actually was pretty good, and I wish we kind of got a sequel to it. Out of all the movies, out of all the movie remakes that we got, this one is not bad. And from what I've heard from Boots to Reboots, it has a cult following, as it should. It should have a cult following. No, wait, hold on. This video is sponsored by M&M's. No, I'm not sponsored by anybody, but I had some M&M's. But hey, if you're not eating M&M's, you're not watching House of Wax. But anyways, this movie has pretty good acting. And I know some people, the thing is, when I first watched this movie with my mom, right? Me and my siblings did not suspect, and also my mother, we weren't suspecting her to die. I don't even know the promotion stuff of like people being like, oh, hey, watch this movie so you can see Paris Hilton die, I didn't even know the promotion for this movie. I didn't even know the marketing for this movie. I didn't know. I didn't. It wasn't until this year until I figured out. Can you believe that shit? But, hey, it's just because the movie just landed on my lap again. So, this movie has a lot of creative stuff. Creative kills, a creative villain. You got Vincent. I felt sorry for Vincent. He didn't deserve the way he deserved it. It kind of reminds me of Jason Voorhees. He didn't deserve the stuff that happened to him. And I love that the Vincent character in this movie is literally paying homage to Vincent Price. Perfect. Just absolutely perfect. Alright? That's how you know that these people actually give a fuck about the original movies. It wasn't like, oh yeah, fuck those people. You know? They actually gave a fuck, of what they were making. So, um, and going back to Paris Hilton, when this movie came out, basically, my mom and my siblings, when we saw the part of what happened to her, spoilers, by the way, it is a horror movie. She dies in the movie. And when we saw that, we were kind of in shock, mainly because she was popular at the time, and it would have, in a marketing strategy, she could have been the main hero, the main heroine, basically, and the other two could have died, you know. But the fact that they didn't do that kind of tells me, hey, you know that was actually pretty ballsy, because nowadays we get celebrities that you think they're gonna kill them off, but they never do, and it's just like, I mean, sometimes it's fine, but other times you'd be like, why automatically they're the main character, even though we were sticking to one character, then automatically they became the main character. What the fuck? Stuff like that. That's why I have a problem with sometimes. This movie did not do that, and I'm happy about that. They knew who their characters was, and they knew what actors they had, so they can kill them off. That was it. That was really it. And for kind of loud, you got the guy from Supernatural being in this movie, and when I saw him in this movie, I thought he was great too, because I think he was already doing Supernatural at that time, right? I could be wrong. Supernatural had so many seasons, so many fucking seasons. It's ridiculous, and bravo to those people that made that show, because it doesn't. To be honest, it doesn't have to come back. But I've told my friends before that, hey, the people that my friends that like Supernatural show, I've told them before, hey, their shows are coming back, and yeah, Supernatural just ended, but don't be surprised if like 10 years from now they make another one, or 5 years from now they make one more season or a movie. I wouldn't be surprised. I'll watch a Supernatural movie. Why not? You know, hell yeah, you know. So, anyways, everything else about the movie is actually, again, not bad. You have a lot of aspects of this movie that kind of, again, the movie does start out slow. I do admit that, because when I was watching it, even when I was a kid, I was just like, this movie's kind of slow. Could we actually get to the part that's actually good? Um, but to be quite honest, guys, looking back at it now as an adult, as a 30-year-old adult, I'm actually glad it takes its time to build it up. Because sometimes we don't get that nowadays. Sometimes it's just like, all right, let's roll with the punches. Let's go. Let's just go. And sometimes that's not a bad thing. It's just that when a movie wants to take time, it's just, when a movie wants to take time with itself, but the director or the writers or the studio is just like, no, rush this shit. And I'm just like, the movie does not want to be rushed. Literally, the movie itself is being sentient and literally telling you guys it does not want to be rushed. And how do you know it doesn't want to be rushed? When the viewers, you and me, watch it and you look at it and you be like, this movie looks like it did not want to be rushed, but the studio decided to rush it. And I feel sorry for the movie for it. It's like that. I'm sure there's some movies out there that we felt sorry for. We just can't remember right now. And if you can remember, then all right, cool. But I know there was some movies that were like that. Not all of them. It's very, very few. It's just very tiny of movies that do that. That's why some people don't really talk about it or don't really mention it. Which makes sense. If it's not really everywhere around the movie industry, then why wouldn't no one talk about it? If it's just in 5 movies compared to 1,000, so it's like that. Anything else I could talk about with this movie? I do like that the main leads are not stupid. I'm so happy that the main leads are not stupid. And I'm so happy that the main lead, especially the main heroine of this movie, she just is a badass. She's a badass. She's not there screaming, crying, being like, whoa, stop it, stop it. No, no, no. She acts. She acts and she fights. And I like that shit. Fuck yeah. Alright? To be quite honest with you, if someone told me that the chick from the House of Whack 2005 version is not a Scream Queen, I'm gonna look at you saying that bullshit. Paris Hilton is a Scream Queen also. Alright? Now I know a lot of people might hate that. But to be quite honest, you watch the House of Wax movie from 2005, in my opinion, she deserves her flowers. She does. She doesn't act anything like what you see from the TV shows at that time. I remember watching the Paris Hilton TV show. For crying out loud, me, my mom, and my siblings were obsessed with it. We watched it so much as when we were younger. And then it ended. We kept up with that shit until it ended. Literally. That's how much we were fans with with these actresses. Even though they were terrible role models. But we knew that they were stupid and fucked up, you know. But we still loved them at the same time, you know. The thing is, it's kind of funny because you look at the Kardashians now and you're like, damn man, this shit is crap. And I'm like, hey, I rather watch the Paris Hilton show than this fucking shit. Cause at least that shit, I'm having fun with it. With the Kim Kardashian stuff, with the keeping up with the Kardashians, I'm literally watching their life. Not to say you're not doing that with the Paris one, but when I look at that with the Kardashian ones, I'm all like, we're just watching their lives. Why? Why? And nothing's happening. For crying out loud, they love drama. So how many times you look at a newspaper walking by at a Stop and Shop or at a bodega, and all of a sudden you see like the Kardashians fighting and shit like that. It's like, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? You know? It's like, oh, they're fighting, oh, everyone is fighting over Kim, or Kim is fighting over one of the Kardashian sisters. It's like, who cares? Who gives a shit? Seriously. And I don't have to talk about that. So all you need to know is that I don't give a shit, and no one shouldn't give a shit, you know? But this movie overall is not bad. It deserves, if you thought this movie was shit at that time, watch it again with fresh eyes. Alright? If you haven't watched the House of Wax movie from 2005 in a long time, watch it again. You know? And if you don't have to, the thing is too, the reason sometimes I don't rewatch some movies that I like, because I can just remember it just by watching a review of it. And I could be like, yeah, let's talk about it, you know? That's what Boots to Reboots did to me. So shout out to Boots to Reboots. Mainly because once I watched that video, I'm just like, all the floods of the memories of the movie just came into me. And I was just like, wow, this movie is actually really good, actually. And it's not bad. Could have been worse and got awful? Yeah. But compared to the other remakes that we got, this one is actually pretty good, and it deserves its flowers, to be quite honest with you. Seriously. Like, I would give this flowers more than the Poltergeist remake, than the fucking Nightmare on Elm Street remake, and even more than the Friday the 13th remake. And I love the Friday the 13th remake, mainly because it's basically all the best of Jason Voorhees, which I don't care. To be honest, the the Friday the 13th remake from 2009 is not a bad one either. I feel like people talk shit about that one just because, Nightmare on Elm Street and Freddy and Jason, you know how people are sometimes. They like to put those two guys together sometimes, just because, I don't know, people like that sometimes. Me, do I do that? The only time I would do that is if they were fighting with each other, Remember that one time I told you guys, if you watch my YouTube videos, I literally told you that Michael Bay was going to remake Fight Freddy vs. Jason in 2019, but that never happened. And I saw that article back in 2016 or 17. I remember seeing that. There was rumbles a little bit of actually remaking that movie. Obviously, it never did happen, but it was just a discussion. It wasn't like, oh yeah, let's do it. Let's make it. It wasn't even in the production stage. It was literally just talked about. That's what was really it, And no one ever mentioned it after that. No one ever mentioned it. I don't think even Bloody Disgusting even mentioned it. And I'm over here like, you guys never saw that? I'm sure you can find it nowadays, but when I saw that, I was just like, to be honest, I was younger at the time. So when I heard that, I was just like, yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, I know, right? Can't believe that. I know someone's gonna be like, you see why we got these bad shits? Man, I was young. I was a kid. Give me a break, you know? But nowadays I'll just be like, oh God, like if you're younger, like a teenager and a kid, I give you a pass because you're young. But if you're an adult, like in your 20s and 30s, and you're advocating for that shit, I'm like, shut the fuck up. Fuck you. um, but going back, the House of Wax movie 2005, in my opinion, compared to all the remakes, is actually probably a masterpiece. Compared to the other remakes that failed and bombed, you know? So I'm not saying it's a masterpiece compared to the originals, but it is a masterpiece compared to the other remakes that came before and after this movie, you know? So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you guys think about the House of Wax 2005 movie. Do you think it was actually pretty fun, pretty entertaining, or do you think it was one of the worst remakes of all time? I would disagree with you, mainly because there's some aspects of that movie that I really, really enjoyed, and I could probably pop that sucker in and still enjoy myself, you know? Now if you didn't and now if the movie didn't do nothing for you, then that's fine. That's totally fine. For crying out loud, I watched the new Halloween movies and they didn't do nothing for me. I did not give a fuck about none of those movies. Like, fuck that shit. you know? So, I'll probably watch Halloween 2018 a little bit more than Halloween Kills, but overall, I still won't watch the fucking goddamn series. At that point, I want to watch the original series from Halloween 1 to Resurrection, you know? So, that's really it. I'll see you guys later. Again, tell me what you guys think about this House of Wax movie. Um, Tell me also what would you done differently too with this movie? Do you think that there should have been a little bit changes for the movie, or do you think that it doesn't need to be changed at all because it's actually pretty solid, of a movie and a solid remake? So yeah, pretty much it. I'll see you guys later, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you're new. And I have been thinking about maybe talking about Leatherface, mainly because I recently watched a video about Leatherface, and I'm just like, why not? Why not talk about Cheesehead? That was his original name, by the way. imagine, imagine the Chainsaw Massacre movie calling. Imagine the Chainsaw Massacre movie title was just called Cheesehead. I don't think it would have been as iconic as it is right now. The name alone, in my opinion, who knows? Maybe Cheesehead would have been an icon horror character, but the movie title, people probably would have forget about it. People would have been like, "Oh no, we want Texas Chainsaw Massacre." All right. So, and if you're a true horror fan, you know that Leatherface's name in the original movie is called Bubba, not Levy. I mean, they do call him Levy sometimes, but it's mostly Bubba. Come on, Bubba. Come on, Bubba. I don't think they call him Leatherface until Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, which is also a pretty good, fun movie, to be quite honest with you. To me, that version of the movie, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, in my opinion, that movie is more fucked up, mainly because it does that horror comedy, and you'd be like, oh god. Because with the first movie, it's a horror movie, So, but when you watch the second one, it has that comedy aspect with that horror, so it's more like, oh my god. And comedy horror is not bad. It's just that when Chainsaw Massacre 2 did it had that feel of more disturbing and more creepy. That's just me as a person that kind of enjoyed Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I mean, for crying out loud. They have an underground bunker. Then they have like neon lights, basically like Christmas lights in the bottom. Basically, oh, it's beautiful. The art style from the second Chainsaw Massacre movie is actually really beautiful. In my opinion, it's Picasso. Right next to Halloween 6, when Michael Myers is just killing people, that's Picasso also. Seriously. And the House of Wax movie from 2005, in my opinion, is probably not Picasso, but close to it. And to be honest, I'd rather have it to be close to it in respect to the original. And the thing is, too, with this movie, it doesn't really. The thing is, this House of Wax movie does not look at the original ones and be like, yeah, let's do the same thing. No, it does its own thing. And I love it for it. I fucking love it for it. I know some people might look at that and be like, "Oh, why isn't it the same thing?" But wouldn't you complain about that? It's the same shit. Come on, man. Look at the remake of Psycho. That shit was beat by beat of the original, and I'm just like, I didn't even watch that movie. I watched reviews about it, and I'm like, yep, I don't even have to watch that. I'm sticking to the original. You know, stuff like that. I'm just like, why do you have to do beat by beat? You can't, like, it's almost the same thing with From what I heard, the Poltergeist movie. There are some aspects of that movie that's not bad, but overall it goes beat by beat from like some of the original, and it even does some of the lines of the original, which I'm just like, why? Why would you do stupid shit like that? I don't know, man. Um, to me, that's lazy writing. That's lazy writing. But I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe again. Like I said, I said that like 4 or 3 times in this video. But I'll see you guys later. Take care. Like I said again, if you ever watch this movie, tell me what you guys think. And if you haven't watched this movie, watch it. And if you're curious to watch the original ones too, watch it. Just especially with Vincent Price, because I watch Vincent Price in some movies, and he is just a gold mine of perfect. He's like Tim Curry or Jack Black or any other actor that's like that. They deserve, like, those type of actors deserve to be inside a freaking box to be preserved forever. I'm dead serious, literally, seriously. Those type of actors deserve to be living forever. Seriously, but that's it. I'll see you guys later. I don't want to keep going the way I am right now and drag the video along. Yeah, 22 minutes. I think I've already dragged it along already. So be safe, guys. And tell me what you guys think about House of Wax 2005.